Hello everybody, and today we are taking a look at the Hot Toys Batman. I didn't think it would turn up, to be perfectly honest, so this thing has been delayed many a time, but it is now finally here, and hopefully it's been worth the wait. Normally I'm not like into box art or like boxes, because you're buying what's underneath, right? That's the main goal here. You wanna look at the toys, baby. But looking at this kind of vibe with the slight pops of red and like the sleeve cover that you can see down here, like with the like grey scale here, and it's reflective to the light, so if we like just cover this light, it's a lot more like subdued and mysterious, but then when you pop the light on, it's like, wow, it pops, it's crazy. It sounds like I'm taking the mick, but I think it's got quite a nice vibe. It kind of fits the film in like its own stylistic sense. It matches like the promotional photos where it's a little bit more grayscale and moody and spooky. I'd usually have my rotating Lazy Susan on, but because of the sheer girth of a Hot Toys box, he barely fits in the light box. So I'm just gonna use my hands. So professional, I know. I need a bigger box. If you want to give me money so I can get a bigger box, you know, that would be. So it's got like a nice little rain effect that you can see better with the light on. There's a nice little Riddler logo there with little question marks, and you've got a nice little reflective bat. It's a really pretty box. So as we open up this box, I just actually want to make a quick note that this is just the collector's edition. There's no special editions here. There's no like light, there's no like bat signal or anything. It is just like the standard. I was gonna get the flight suit, but do you know when you just press the wrong button and just don't realise, and then you've just left it for like well over a year, and then you kind of sit there when it comes and you're like, oh yeah, I bought the collector's edition, not the special edition. But hey, we live and learn. So in your first accessory tray, you receive quite a bit. You get his different variations of his batarangs. You get his grapnel guns that go on both his wrists, because they connect to his wrists, not his hands. Quite a nice little detail. You get his bat cuffs for fun times with a penguin. You get his little notes, his little love notes from the Riddler. So cute. You get his flares. You get, I think, are they his adrenaline sticks, or are they his like things that go in the flare? I don't know. And then the thing on the bottom right there is just the tool for his eyes. Kind of forgot, yeah, he also comes with his lines for his grapnel guns. Very nice, different lengths, so you can either have them in his hand or you can have them shooting out. That is a quite little big detail I should have mentioned, but you know, I'm too excited. So to say this guy comes with a lot is an understatement. He comes with, this is nothing that was on the figure, this is all separate. He comes with a separate head sculpt, comes with an unmasked head sculpt. That has a neck seal on it, but in the box it's a separate thing, so they're two separate pieces. Comes with alternate hair if you want to make him look extra emo. Comes with two extra face plates to go on the bat cowl. And then he comes with a whole load of hands. So here you can see the texture on them. You can see like the different paint schemes. So there's a bit of matte, bit of gloss. And when you look at the art book of the Batman, it's so accurate, it's crazy. Obviously, when you're paying for this amount of money, I imagine it should be. But like, they're just beautiful. And these are just the hands, so Lord knows what the figure looks like. Pattinson must love bats, because, you know, vampires have the symbolism with bats, and then Batman, you know, it's funny. They are slightly connected, you could argue. Also, this is lore accurate 41st Reclaimer hairline confirmed. This is what it looks like when you're in between changing out the hair pieces. So if we just hold him here, it's like the front of his hairline, so it like seams into there. So I haven't done this yet, so we'll try and figure this out together. And then you get when he's like looking down and it's like something in the way he's playing and he's proper emo, and it's just beautiful. But honestly, that is so much better. So the first hair sculpt you saw, I think, was on the reveal, and then this is the updated one. But the fact that they gave us both is actually great. I love that. And that looks stunning. I love that. Just getting this out of the box is insane. It is absolutely beautiful. We're going to do some closer-up photography, and we're going to like do some closer visuals to show the details of the suit. But just out of the box, I haven't like fussed with anything. I've just taken like all the anti-scratch plastic off. It's beautiful. It has like this silhouette of him. It has the demeanor of him. You can see like the leather texture in the cowl. You can see the stubble built in to the face sculpt. It's always funny when you get like a figure like this and you go, oh, it looks lifelike. Oh, it looks like a scene from the movie. But then when you see something like this, especially with the moving eyes, because it's not just like staring directly at you, like there's like it's slightly off, and the colour's slightly off-white. It's not that, like, the details are there in an uncanny valley way, and you just look and you go, God, it's a bloody human. You can even see here they're, like, sunken in, and they're like, it's not just a flat cowl. And I know that sounds silly, because when you're paying this much for, like, a high-end figure, you'd think that, like, oh yeah, they would do this, but it's just when you see it in person, you can see, like, when it's even a bit closer, you can see, like, the fibre textures in the leather. You can see the cuts in it. You can see, like, the dent in the nose that makes it... in the art book of the Batman, they say that they try to make the cowl look like it's got a broken nose on the skull. So, like, the skull cap around the cowl is, like, to look like a skull. Make him look menacing in that way. But the nose is, like, wide and, like, cracked to look like a broken one, so he looks like a boxer, like a fighter. And they've got that detail in there, which is really nice. To be honest, with this, like, reflective light on it as well, it looks like he's a teeny bit in rain, which is kind of cool. Now to the rest of the flight suit, or I guess the bat suit. It's slightly off colour in the sense of, like, it's this greyish, brownish with the hints of green. So, like, the way they've weathered it to look green. So it stands out against the bat logo and the upper armour chest plate, which is, I do believe, accurate to the film. And if we go further down, you can see the pops of yellow lining in the boots and the belt, which is beautiful. And it looks like when you watch the Warner Brothers video of the Batsuit on YouTube, and I think they also did a video on Tested. It just looks like that in 6th scale? 6th scale? Yeah, am I getting this right? Am I a real YouTuber? Who knows? When you look at a figure like this, you kind of, like, you can see more hints compared to the movie, because in the movie it's very dark, it's very subdued, but also, like, it's covered by the lighting, it's covered by the fighting, the moving, so you can't really see, like, the certain details. So, like, when you're in the film, you can see, like, the carabiner that's, like, triangular for some reason, but you can see, like, smoke grenades and, like, the ammo pouches. And then I never knew this until the figures that he had, like, a holster. It's just so many beautiful details on this thing that just make you go, wow. That's definitely not Catwoman's favourite spot, but we'll keep moving. You can see, like, the flight suit has, like, padded armour underneath. I wonder how that's going to deal with articulation. That's going to be interesting. We can see there's, like, it's, like, thigh protection, knee protection. What are those? Beautifully, it's a split cut boot, so you can actually stand. And just back to the beautiful face. It's an incredible figure, but let's turn him around and let's look at this cape. So the cape has a beautifully weathered design on it. Put a bit more light on so you can see a bit better. So there's a fade that goes from bottom to top. So at the top it's a lot more pristine black. And as you go to the bottom, it's all muddy. I will say, the light isn't doing this justice, but it does also feel how it looks. Like it's a thin, like, plasticky, like, it's a weird texture. I haven't really felt this on a bat cape before, but it's not going to break, it's not going to crack, it's actually going to be quite nice. But I think it kind of fits the film as well, but with the correct lighting on, it's not going to look as shiny as this. Or if it does, who knows, might look a bit more like bat skin, I suppose. If I stretch it out a little here though, you can see, like, the pleats, and you can see it's extended a little, like, because it's got wires on it, which is quite nice. It's going to be perfect to get that perfect silhouette. And if we get a bit closer, you can see the speckles of the mud, which is beautiful. It's quite high res as well. Sometimes this sort of detail can look a little bit fuzzy, but it's quite crisp on this, which is very nice. I don't know if I would have had it, like, completely clean all the way up the top. I might have done it a bit more, because as you can see, there's, like, on the seam line on the cowl, there's a bit of mud there. But overall, it's very pretty. So for a bit of context, I ordered this on the 30th of January, 2023. It is now around April, 1st of April, 2nd of April. And it's now here, so obviously I'm extremely overjoyed to see this. And has it been worth the wait waiting for this batch number? Absolutely. I definitely wish I got one of the bigger editions so I could have the full collection of accessories. So, like, the sticky bomb gun to actually fit in the holster. It's kind of weird seeing them with just a holster and nothing in it. But I'm not too upset. If I can get some extra parts, I will. And there's a few custom pieces already out already from certain collectors. I know OT Customs is doing a different neck seal and different things like that. and I think maybe a different cape. I haven't fully looked into it yet. I'm trying to think of reasons that are wrong with it. The only thing that I've seen that it's not wrong, it just feels weird, is the outside of the cape. But the inside of the cape is more like matte. It's got like a matte finish. And when you're looking at this direction anyway, it looks beautiful. And on the inside of the cape as well, it's got some weathering, which is very nice. It's got the same speckling pattern. So the head is connected to like a magnetic joint. So it just kind of floats on there, but it is sealed by the magnet. So that makes it easier to like replace and move, and probably most likely less chance of scratch. You just got to make sure that when it's on there, it's sat in a way that looks a bit more natural. But it means also there's like loads of articulation you get from it. It's beautiful. It just means it might fall off if you're going a bit too crazy with it. But also, while we're at this close to the head sculpt, you've seen with just the slight alterations, like the mouth plate and the. That's horrifying. Oh, sweet Mother Mary. That is, yeah. Anyway, compared to just I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. You can just... I don't like it. You can see if you just change the eye rotation. I'm just going to look away while I talk. You can see if you change the eye placement and change the mouth plate, it looks different. I'm gonna turn it off now. I haven't tried changing it to the Bruce Wayne head sculpt yet, or the Robert Pattinson head sculpt yet. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and I'll just explain it, because as you can see by my setup, it's not really equipped to, you know, get all handsy with it. This is more built for like Black Series, and I'm gonna get this cursed image off your screen and my eyes. So this is just the neck seal. It actually popped off really easy. I don't think I could have done it on camera though, but this is what pops off, and then we just put the head sculpt on. Man took his cowl off in public. Is he stupid? So looking at the head sculpt on the body, it looks absolutely stunning. I will say though, this is the first time I've had to look at the Hot Toys instructions booklet to see how to put it on, because it felt wrong just ripping the head off, then putting the neck seal in, and then putting the head on. But apparently that's how you're supposed to do it, so go to town, snap his neck. Do what Bane couldn't. But yeah, once you actually get it on there, and it actually pops on, I don't know if mine's on correctly, but it looks beautiful. Even with this high key lighting, that wasn't what this like suit and like eye design was designed for. It just looks beautiful. Seeing him hold the cowl, I've got that in quite a precarious situation. If that falls out, we're all doomed. But I thought it looked like quite a cool aesthetic. It's kind of just this figure in a nutshell. It's just a really cool aesthetic. I absolutely love it. It's stunning. But yeah, back to the head sculpt. It looks so naturalistic. We'll zoom in a bit. So now that we've zoomed in even more, you can see like the freckles, you can see his complexion. I can't tell if that streak on the left side of his head there is from paint or if that's like a scar. But overall, it's beautiful. The hair looks very naturalistic. Now, people are debating between this figure and the artisan in-art figure because of the real hair. For me, real hair isn't really big of an issue. You can just slap this on and then he's good to go. Obviously, it looks quite matte and like, you could argue plasticky and waxy, but it's a figure. You could say it would complement the head sculpt more, but I love that it comes with two presets. This one, and then you've got like the more business and for some reason more Bruce Wayne looking sculpt. Almost like he's about to go out. This is more like after his night out where he's like writing in his journal and looking through the retinal recorder, I guess. It doesn't have Bat in the name, so it doesn't really feel right. But it just looks beautiful. I haven't moved the eye sculpts on these ones because this has the same moving eye feature. But the way they are, it kind of pops through the hair, so he looks menacing. He looks very sad. It looks like he misses them very much, and he's craving justice, but he's also craving a hug. But he cannot say that because it's not masculine. Poor Brucey. What therapy would have done for this man is insane. I know Hot Toys aren't the biggest for variants, or like it's like once they've done the line, that's it. But like imagine if we got like the super muddy version at the end of the film, so you could do like a shot like this, or like a shot from the film. I just keep looking at this figure and keep going, I just want more. Like, this is perfect. I love this so much. But I want more. I've also just realised I've got to do the articulation section, and I'm terrified to move this thing. Not because it's brittle at all, but it's more there's a lot of pointy pieces, and I'm very clumsy. Silhouette's part in the character design. The film nailed it. And sometimes Hot Toys, so like if you look at the Hot Toys Batman Begins figure, both versions, they're a bit of a mess. I love it. I love them. I've got one. But they're not really like the most accurate things on the planet. Whereas this is breathtaking. It looks like Robert Pattinson in the suit. It's one of those things where, like, yes, it's a figure, but like, this could be a statue right now. That could be a statue and be like, yeah, it looks purposeful. But a lot of people buy figures to see how it moves, to move it, get it in dynamic poses. So let's try and move it, see how that looks. So I'll try and keep this in focus as I can. We'll see how that goes though. So they go about there. What you should know though is these are on Velcro, so if they do pop off, you're perfectly fine. You can just readjust them, but it also helps that while you're posing, you can take them off to pose and then put them back on. So they could go up higher, but just because I'm terrified about destroying this figure day one, I'm not going to do so. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, because he is on a magnetic ball joint, because his head is on a magnetic ball joint, this can go crazy. So you can get him in like a flight pose when you get the flight suit. He can look down, evil, menacing. Or you can, you know, end him. So the arms will go forward almost 90. That's actually pretty decent for a figure as beefy as this. Same on the other side. They go to there. Also, it could push it farther. One, if you used a heat gun. Two, if you were crazier than I am. I don't know if that's possible. Looks like he's snapping his fingers from there. He's becoming Thanos. Anyway, wrong franchise. But yeah, that's as far as it can go. Straight out again. I feel like well, apparently that doesn't move at all. But basically for this it's standard Hot Toys joints, up, down, and swivel if you don't pop it off like I do. But we're going to continue. That goes on both sides. Legs. With padding and with a strap in the way, that's actually quite decent. So it goes to about there. I've broke his kneecap, that's fine, we can sort that out. He can pretty much kick his own butt. Same with the other leg. And he can almost kick his own butt there. It's beautiful. So they can twist. And it has a very good ankle rocker. Not the best display, as we can see there. But he is a beautiful boy nonetheless. We won't judge him. I think he is judging me. He looks very upset. What I will say is another good thing about this figure is that although it comes with loads of accessories, they're also really easy to install, alternate, mess with, and just have a good time with. Usually with some Hot Toys figures it takes quite a lot of fiddling with, a lot of messing with to get it how you want to look. Here it took me a couple seconds and I've got him in a beautiful little fight pose with his chest symbol and his grapple gun. I'll get a bit of light source on there for you. It's a metal chest piece. It's actually metal. There's magnets on it that keeps it in place. And honestly, it's such a fun thing to just... a little extra accessory piece that you see from the film. So I should have mentioned that in the accessory section, but I completely forgot it was a thing. And messing with them, putting it all together, it's really fun. And honestly, this is one of those figures you could get 2, 3 of just to have completely different sections. Obviously, if you had the money, like Mr. Bruce Wayne here. I think I was impressed with him, as Cobblepot was when he first saw him. He's like, "Whoa, take it easy, sweetheart. You're everything that they say." Also, I know that was a bit of a joke, but like I've just realised there's little metal pointy tips on his gloves there. He's got little metal bits. There's so many like extra details I keep noticing with this figure. As you can tell, I've just opened him up, so there's a lot of things I'm missing. But there's just so many like teeny details that just make it pop. They've even like done weathering on the inside of his chest piece, so you could actually display him without, and it wouldn't look really weird. Like, so you could have him do it when he cuts the line and he falls. If you really wanted to, I don't know why you would, but yeah. So overall, I would say this figure is absolutely worth the wait. My biggest gripes are that, like, some of the accessories I just wouldn't use. And if that's your biggest problem on a figure, I think that's absolutely incredible. So, in regards to this being on the channel, I was just really excited for this figure. I think that's an understatement. I'd been waiting well over a year for this figure. And although I do Star Wars and Halo, I want to get this figure on there. Because this is an absolutely favourite film of mine. This is in the top 10 at least. And it's one of my favourite portrayals of Batman. So when my favourite portrayal of Batman figure actually comes along, the Hot Toys BVS V2, I might do it as well. But we'll see. Let me know what you think of the review. Let me know what you think of the figure, more importantly though. Would you pick up this figure? And if so, which figure would you pick up? Or are you waiting for the in-art variant with the real hair and maybe the more expensive price range? We've seen this in high-key lighting. We've seen this in a studio setting rather than a cinematic setting, a more accurate depiction of what it would be set in. So how about we get some pretty photos going, or at least some not just plain white background, before we see yous off. So, take it away.